Welcome to our live stream. I'm gonna have to remember we're in a hotel, so I'm gonna talk a little softer.
Is this Saturday?
I think so. Alright. Well, welcome everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. We'll start shortly, but give everyone a 10-minute leeway. Let me start the YouTube one. Oh, I didn't put on my Storybrooke shirt. Oh well. But you guys hopefully saw it last week on my birthday, so for those who didn't stick to the end, well, you probably didn't realize I was wearing it because I didn't talk about it till the end. But I was wearing my Welcome to Storybrooke shirt that my parents got me for my birthday. So, but yeah. So yeah, I'm in Arkansas right now on vacation, and we're in a hotel. So, and this is not my normal volume, but I'm trying to be a little quiet. So bear with me. We're here to watch Once Upon a Time after all. So, no wonder. YouTube still says we're going live. It's not saying we're live yet, it's still loading. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is stable. Just keeps loading right there. At least we have Facebook though. Yep. Okay. So yes, so Arkansas is where I served my church mission. And so we're just coming back to visit the mission, basically.
Did you put your computer? Did you plug into the Wi-Fi?
Mm-hmm. I don't know where this is loading, but hopefully everyone's watching. Okay, hang on. Go to my YouTube channel. Let's go to my YouTube channel really quick. Let's make sure everything's working. Refresh. Come on, it's still loading. I don't know what's going on. Well, I'll just have to re-upload the Facebook one. I'm gonna have to text someone really quick. What are you doing? Now they can't see your face. It was already like this. You just moved it even more. So there's some people who don't have Facebook, so I'm just texting a few family members if they're not finding my YouTube video. If it's stuck loading, I already trust. Let's see. If it's stuck loading,
Renee said hi, Ben.
Renee said hi
Yeah.
on my Facebook one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Type messages?
Yes. It is 7:55, well, 6:55, I guess, Utah time. We'll start Once Upon a Time in 5 more minutes. But, YouTube seems to just continue loading. And, I have specific family members who don't have Facebook, so I don't want it to be disappointing for them. I'm just sending text messages. If it's stuck loading, I'll re-upload the Facebook one to YouTube later tonight.
Facebook's working.
It is?
Yep.
Well, yeah. Of course, I'm talking about YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We upload the Facebook version to YouTube later tonight.
What's your channel called?
Grace Actor 2020, but you can only find it if you type in Bradowlands. It says we're going live over. You only know it's working when it says you're live, but it says going live, so that's gonna be a problem for people trying to watch on YouTube. I already tested it out and on a different tab, and it's not showing up on my channel. So yeah, if you're wondering what happened with my hair, I dyed it for just a couple days after my birthday, and I think it resembles Emma Swan. So I thought this would be great for our Once Upon a Time marathons. Now I just need to put the Storybrooke shirt on, but I'm not going to go through my luggage just to find it right now. Maybe I'll wear it next week when we're in Mississippi, because we'll still be on vacation next Sunday. So next Sunday night, expect me to still be out of town, but we'll do the marathon in Mississippi. Tonight we're doing it in Arkansas. Mississippi is the same time zone, so it's like almost 8 o'clock here, but it's almost 7 o'clock your time. Well, got 3 minutes till we start the show, which I have it all uploaded and ready, and I have my headphones on, so we shouldn't have a problem starting on time with the show. Well, we may have to go without YouTube tonight, but this happened before where I had to, where YouTube did not record all the way, and I had to re-upload the Facebook one to YouTube instead. So if we have to do that, we'll do that. So
Renee says,
how's Arkansas? It's pretty good. Well, not the flight here. The flight here was kind of sucked. But we did eventually. We were supposed to get here at 6 p.m. Saturday night, and we ended up getting here at 8 a.m. Sunday morning because of flight delays and cancellations. And at least for the most part, we got a refund. But for some stuff, we didn't. So we still wasted a little bit of money, especially on our hotel that we were supposed to, it's this hotel. We were supposed to check in on this hotel on Saturday, but we didn't check in until Sunday. So waste of money. But we made it. Well, I'm gonna give up solving the YouTube issue. But yeah, I'm gonna hurry and text one of my cousins really quick. Feel free to watch it tomorrow if it doesn't show up. It's going well on Facebook, so I'll just re-upload it to YouTube after we're done with Facebook. Okay. Feel free to watch it tomorrow if it doesn't show up. It's going well on Facebook, so I'll just re-upload it to YouTube after we're done with Facebook. Alright, so I was just texting one of my cousins. He's the only cousin that watches the show, so therefore he's probably my favorite. Anyway. Oh, Charlie Ever Nancy's on here. He's watching our live stream. Alright, well, we got 1 minute to start the show, so hopefully you all have your own copy of Once Upon a Time, Season 1, Episode 16, 17, 18. We will start the show in 1 minute. And, yes, so some people from Mississippi are joining us, so for them this is late. So I don't know how long they'll stay up. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock for Utah people. Here in Arkansas, it's 8 o'clock. But most people watching this is from Utah. So we're going to start the show. So again, I hope you have your own copy. Season 1, Episode 16. Feel free, on Disney Plus. Push play. But since Disney Plus loads and everyone still starts at different times, once the show starts, we're going to pause it. Mine's still loading. Okay, now rewind it, and if you have your episode at 0 seconds, it's 43 minutes and 37 seconds. 43 minutes and 37 seconds. So again, so far I've enjoyed visiting the Hope Branch in Arkansas. It's been pretty fun. I'll be happy to give you a report on how the rest of the trip goes next Sunday for those who are watching it from Utah. But for now, we'll just get with our Once Upon a Time marathon since it's 7 o'clock and it's 7:01, so we must get started. So okay, I hope that gives everyone enough time to start the episode at 0 seconds. We're all gonna push play, and not when I say 1, but when I say now. 3, 2, 1, now. So, recaps. No, Mary Margaret's being framed for murder, and Regina's behind all of it. Enchanted Forest, many years ago. Sorry if I'm not acting too excited. I'm trying to be quiet in a hotel right now. It's Wolf's time. Is the YouTube one working at all?
No, but I can't find it.
BRADELBENS. BENS. And it's called. Do you see videos of me? Yeah, that channel. Let's see, where's the live stream? It just says upcoming, it doesn't have the... Okay, and then you try clicking. It says it's still not going. This happened once before and I just had to download the Facebook version.
Yep.
I'll just do that later. I texted Caden. And if he's living at Dark Hair Renee's house, then maybe Dark Hair Renee knows that YouTube's not working. It's Wolf's time. If he's living at Dark Hair Renee's house. Brother Abernathy saying, I'm just jumping on the live stream to say hi. I don't know anything about this. I'll probably explain to him later.
Say hi.
I said hi back.
Did you get out on the later? What's happening?
Snow White's becoming evil.
Ooh.
She's gonna go kill the queen.
Yikes. See, it's raining in Arkansas.
It's raining in Arkansas. According to my mom. Maybe Arkansas is sad about how evil Snow White is. Remember, in a previous episode, she drank the potion to forget Charming, and that caused her to be a little evil. Now she wants revenge on the evil queen for getting revenge on her. Mary Margaret, however, is not evil. She's being framed. Yeah. camera's on
I know.
you're in the background.
I know.
Just because I'm watching the show doesn't mean the camera's off. It's on. Snow White steals the clothes of a knight. Henry loves getting into this kind of thing. This is not for kids. True that. Court's not going to believe in fairy tales, of course. Found a knife under one of those woods. Pieces of wood. There's a lot of evidence stacking against Mary Margaret. Anna's the main character, and she's having a hard time to believe that fairy tales are real in this reality. Maybe as supportive, maybe you guys can try really hard to believe in fairy tales yourselves. Just kidding. I know, because Snow White took the army off this guy, so he doesn't have clothing. Well, you don't know the new Snow White. Sometimes it's staring right at us. We don't even realize it. Yeah, guys, can you see what she's plan intending there? She's evil, and she's staring David right in the face. You're a lawyer. Rumpel is many things. He's a landlord. He's a lawyer. What? Don't worry. Rumpel is not doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve. He's gonna help her. That's something weird to say coming from a lawyer. Say, I'm invested in your future. He said that in the past and in the present. Yeah, Snow White can never become that evil. Charming has to stop her. Evil's not born. This show is really good at teaching you lessons. Evil's not born, it's made. Someone could be born of a very bad man and woman, but that doesn't make them evil. So, evil's not born, it is made. It's the decisions you make. You have agency, and you can choose to be good or evil. Charming must stop Snow White from killing the queen. And the kiss didn't work because Snow doesn't love him. At least the evil Snow doesn't love him. So yeah, if Charming doesn't stop Snow White from killing the evil queen, she becomes evil for good. So, and as you can see, Regina, we found this out when she stole the letter from Catherine, but Regina has a skeleton key for every single person who lives in Storybrooke. So, yeah.
with it. Oh, you have cord. What's happening now?
Snow White's about to kill the queen, and Charming couldn't stop her.
Sad.
No. She's under some kind of evil spell. Charming's trying to break it. In Storybrooke, Mary Margaret's getting framed for murder. They're trying to prove her innocent. Uh-oh. David, I would stay with Jiminy Cricket here, or Archie. You're having a little bit of a psychosis. He didn't get his full... He's not... To be clear for new viewers, he's not waking up from the curse. He's just getting bits and pieces of his fairy tale life. And he's only getting the bits and pieces of him watching Mary Margaret wanting to... Well, him watching Snow White wanting to kill the queen. And because he's not broken from the curse, he thinks Mary Margaret wanted to kill Catherine. And so he's mixing the little bit of fairy tale memories with his real world memories. And so now he's going to break Mary Margaret's heart when he believes that she killed Catherine. When he believes that. So, yeah. I know David's decisions are kind of dumb, but it's the curse making them stay apart, so... Storybrooke David does become a better person in season 2 when the curse breaks. That is a noble cause. Charming would rather die than let snow fill her heart with darkness. And now Snow White loves him again. And once they share true love's kiss, the spell will be broken and Snow White will remember her charming. Snow White is no longer evil. Yippee. Oh, sad ending now. They take James away. That must have hurt to pull that arrow out. No, Snow almost got herself killed there. Almost. Yep. If you remember from the beginning of the show, Charming does find her and wake her up from a sleeping curse, so you know they get together. David, you're gonna break Mary Margaret's heart. You're interpreting it wrong. It's your fairy tale life, and Snow's not evil in the real world. He is not the kind of man that's worth being with, at least under a curse. Curse David keeps breaking Mary Margaret's heart. You lost her forever, David. You're not the charming you used to be. And it's not your fault, but still. The curse should not be an excuse to break Mary Margaret's heart here. It's okay, guys. We've got 6 more episodes left of the season, so. And we will finish season 1 in Mississippi, so the curse will break in Mississippi next week. Now that Snow White is no longer evil, she's giving the dwarfs an apology. That's kind of a repentance process right there. We have good snow again. Listen, guys, I like this line. Let's show that king what Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs can really do. The Disney movie doesn't is only a tip of the iceberg. Come to Once Upon a Time if you want to see what they really can do. They can really kick butt and storm a castle. We get warriors here, not damsels in distresses. I mean, the live action Snow White kind of makes Snow White a more fighter, but if you watch the cartoon, she's more of a damsel in distress, and both live action and Once Upon a Time prove the cartoon wrong. Princesses are not damsels in distress. They don't need a prince to come. They can fight themselves. That's why I like that line. Let's show King George what Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs can really do. Speaking of Snow White / Mary Margaret, it looks like she found a key to escape from jail. Mary Margaret's gonna get found guilty, but she is innocent. We all know that. Emma's on a point. We all know Regina's behind this. It's not a spoiler. Regina hates Snow White, as Henry's motive says. Emma has a superpower. She knows Mary Margaret's innocent. She knows when people lie, and she's not. She knows. We all know that Mary Margaret's being framed. Because Regina hates her. Emma has always failed against Regina, but maybe not this time. Emma's willing to do anything to save her mother, even if she doesn't realize it. That's her mother. Yep, Emma is the savior, product of true love for fairy tales. She's more powerful than she realizes right now. She can defeat Regina. She just got to believe in herself. And the first time in history, Rumpelstiltskin, in flashback, creates the potion of true love. Snow White, Mary Margaret has escaped. She's on the run from the law. Alright, well, that wraps up this episode. Feel free to push the next one. But as soon as it starts, pause it. And rewind it 10 seconds. And the timestamp should be 43 minutes and 47 seconds. So good episode overall. And yeah. In flashback, we pick up where episode 10 left off, where Snow drank the potion, forgot her Charming, and now she's evil. And so Charming, realizing this, tries to break the spell. He fails at first, but when he shows an act of bravery, the True Love's kiss breaks the spell, and Snow White's no longer evil. While in present day, Mary Margaret's not under an evil spell. She's a good person, being framed for murder. But unfortunately, David got some bits of his fairy tale past, and he got the wrong bits, and he used it against Mary Margaret by mistake. I mean, I guess who would blame him? But at the same time, sometimes you just don't trust your brain. Your thoughts are not always clear. Even I mix thoughts all the time. Not usually with fictional ones, but anyway. But yeah, everything is stacking against Mary Margaret, and she's now escaped jail, and now she's on the run. So that puts us into next episode, episode 17, Hat Trick. So without further ado, we'll just get started. This might not be quite as entertaining as the other live streams, but I'm trying to speak quiet because while I'm in Arkansas right now, we are in a hotel, and I don't want to wake anyone up. So yeah. So again, like I say every live stream, you better have the show on hand. Otherwise, it might sound a little boring because I'm not trying to give as much commentary as possible to keep it quiet. And luckily, I have headphones too to watch the show, so that way it doesn't make too much noise. So anyway, without further ado, we'll start episode 17. Your timestamp should be at 0, and there should be 43 minutes and 47 seconds left. And not when I say 1, but when I say now. We're going to push play in 3, 2, 1, now. Who knows the truth, and who can break the spell? Oh man, it's giant mushrooms. I wonder what this episode could be about. Throw your hints, if you have any hints at all. I know I don't get much comments here, but if someone were to comment watching this live, throw your hints in the comments below what the giant mushrooms mean in the show. Mary Margaret is on the run. Better be careful. The law is a tricky business that you don't want to go against. It's better to stay behind bars, even if you didn't do it, even if you're being framed. Trust in your lawyers, they will find the truth. It's not up to you. Emma, don't trust strangers. Right, guys? Now we're getting the stranger's flashback. Not the stranger from earlier. Not August. But the guy we just met. Jefferson. His flashback. And he has a daughter. He also plays in Winter Soldier, and you probably know him from Marvel. Sebastian Stan. He's trying to protect his daughter from the evil queen. Yeah. And that's hard coming from Regina. There's nothing more important than family. That's a true statement, but you're evil. You shouldn't be saying something like that. That's too good, even coming from Regina, when she's supposed to be evil. She's gonna trick him into helping her out, and then he's gonna regret it later. Sorry, I need to stop spoiling the show. That's just the flashback, though. And maybe you don't care if I spoil flashbacks. It has nothing to do with the present day if you know those characters survive. This is why you shouldn't trust strangers. Jefferson poisoned her, knocked her out. Jefferson's a bad person. He's in the present. Listen to your daughter. She's right. She was the old woman. That's a little reference to what she did to Snow White with the poison apple, disguising as an old woman, right? She did that to Jefferson's daughter and was pretty rude and not letting her have a toy. She's using the cup to cut herself free. The place is locked. He's been spying on you. I would listen to your daughter. They have children have good instincts. I would for what's about to happen. You should have stuck to what you told her when she was here. You never abandon family. Nothing's more important than family. Why do stories Not just Disney, but why do stores in general separate parents from their children a lot? It's always sad. You just know from the beginning something's gonna happen. Well, he's alive in the present day, so you know he doesn't die. But anyway. That's Mary Margaret all tied up. They were so they were so close to sneaking out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They could have escaped. But Jefferson was one step ahead. And Emma did not call for backup, sadly. These costumes are unique. You have to admit that the Evil Queen's dresses and other people's costumes. he's not wrong. Emma does have magic, but Emma doesn't believe yet. And if you were in her shoes, you would think he's a madman to believe in magic and be psycho about it. It is almost about time. She'll wake up next week in Boonville, Mississippi. We're almost done with the season, guys. We'll finish it next week. But since that's not going to be this episode, you're about to see what's going to go down. Since that won't be this episode. I'm afraid hat portals don't work in the real world, guys. There's Oz. That green curtain. That has to be Oz. This is where all the fairy tale lands are. Can you just guess? Can you guess what's behind each door? The green one is Oz. This one's Wonderland, because it's a looking glass. What are the other portals? Stay tuned. Watch the rest of the show with me. I know, but I won't spoil. This is not really a spoil. You kind of knew it was Wonderland because of the looking glass. That's in Alice in Wonderland, at least live action. The green one is Oz. What else would be green? It had 2 Z's on it. Oz. But I'm not going to spoil all the other portals. You'll find out as we get further into the seasons. Who are you? Reminds me of Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. I wish I had a magical solution to get rid of all my homework for this term. Okay. Sorry. I gotta plug my laptop in. But the episode's still playing, so don't pause or anything. Yep. The real world does not have magic, but the fairy tale world does. And some need magic. Like Storybrooke, which is the real world that doesn't have magic. Same thing. to the Enchant Forest or Wonderland? Points on Regina with magic. It's a good thing Regina has magic. Or the evil queen, I should say. Ooh, that was close. The evil queen betrayed Jefferson. He should have. He should have. She should have not freed her dad from the box until after she left Wonderland. But then again, I guess he still counts as a person when he's tiny. A mistake made by Jefferson. Oh. Exactly. I told you this from the start. He should have went with his first instincts instead of second thoughts. This always happens to characters on Once Upon a Time who choose pride over family. Father and daughter separated till the curse breaks in the end of season 1. I'm not going to make that mistake with my children. if I ever get them in the future. And here we meet the Queen of Hearts. Uh-oh. Off with his head. Queen of Hearts. Sebastian Stan, who is known for Marvel. Could you believe he was on Once Upon a Time? Winter Soldier as the Mad Hatter. There's Grace. Her name is Paige. She has a foster family, sadly. Mm-hmm. The re- but that's what he wants to do. It's not the end of the season. It was all a ruse. Yep, see, she didn't even believe him. She only went along with it so that she can knock him out when he least suspects it. So, if you thought the curse was going to break in this episode, you are wrong. Now a violent scene has occurred. I mean, he was about to shoot Emma in the neck, and Mary Margaret saved her life. But now he disappeared. Did he just fall in the hat? Is he back in Wonderland? Where did he go? At least he's out of the picture, though. He's the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. At least Jefferson didn't take her car or her keys. Emma, this is your mother, and you just don't believe it. I mean, she accepts her as a best roommate friend, if not a mother figure, as a best roommate friend at least, caring enough to let her escape the law. That's against her. It's almost 8. Mary Margaret decides not to run after all, decides to go back in her jail cell and do this right by the law. Hopefully they can prove her innocent. That was a close call. That's like the Cinderella episode all over again, getting there before the stroke of midnight. results. You weren't specific. Did you want results that she was innocent or guilty? Regina, you're running out of moves. Emma's gonna defeat you. Sooner than later. It's almost time for the season to end. There's Paige / Graceland from the fairy tale world. But Paige in real life. That does look like Jefferson. And that looks like his daughter Grace. But Emma's still has a little ways to go before she can fully believe. As far as the Mad Hatter goes, Jefferson spends the rest of his days in Wonderland making hats. She's zoned out. Is Emma only a step away from believing what's going to happen next? And that's the end of the episode. So, push the next one. But as soon as it starts playing, pause it. Wait a second. See, okay, pause it. Rewind it 10 seconds. And it should be 43 minutes and 45 seconds. But before we start, I want to just say, so, if you're confused, Jefferson is cursed. It's just the only reason he remembers who he is because as the Mad Hatter, his curse isn't to forget who he is. His daughter, Grace, forgets who she is and becomes Paige and part of a different foster family instead of her biological father. But Jefferson's curse was to know the truth, but forced to keep it to himself, because if you go around telling people that fairy tales are real and then you take it as seriously as he did, you could be locked away in an asylum and blah 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 blah. You know, he's a psychopath, and so until the curse breaks, he's stuck as a psychopath, and he can't just go up to his daughter, say that he's his daughter, and then claim to be the Mad Hatter. He could take the fairy tale stuff out, but according to the curse, he's not biologically related to her. The curse changed their genetics, so anyway, it's kind of difficult, and so until the curse breaks, he can't be reunited with his daughter because he's mad. So anyway, Emma's not quite there on believing yet. We still have 5 episodes left, and we're only going to watch one more. Next week we will begin a 4-episode night. So if you remember, according to my policy and description, 46 out of 56 weeks are 3 episodes, and that's what we're doing on almost every single week. But there will be occasions where we do 4 episodes, and this is one of the examples I was talking about when we started this marathon, is that there's 22 episodes a season, and if you do 3 episodes a day for 7 weeks, 3 times 7 is 21. But why would you stop the show when there's only 1 more episode left of the season? I could save the season finale for the week after, but we don't normally do 1 episode a night, and so then we would watch season 2, and I prefer to give us a week break between season 1 and season 2, not between the episode 21 and the finale, or episode 2 of the next season and episode 3. So no, that's not what we're doing. So and we also have once upon a time specials, and our first one will be coming up right before we start season 2. And so, anyway, it will mess up our schedule if we don't do 4 episodes next week. So, out of 56 weeks in the year, not in a year, out of 56 weeks of the marathon, 46 of them are 3 episodes, but 10 of them have to be 4. Only 10 weeks. 10 weeks out of 56, that's not a lot. That's only 1/6 of the entire marathon. So if you are barely managing 3 episodes, don't worry, 4 episodes are rare, okay? But we will do 4 episodes next week, just to finish out the season and watch Emma start to believe in fairy tales and break the curse. And I'll be in Louisville, Mississippi when that happens. We will also be not in a hotel. We rented a house, so I might be able to talk a little louder next week. But, since we're in a hotel, I'm being quieter. And so, if my live stream is not entertaining for you, just watch the episodes. But, if it is entertaining, or you're just being nice and sticking with me through the end, we are now going to start episode 18. It is 8:30, so let's get started. Again, 43 minutes, 45 seconds should be on the stamp. 0, put your timestamp at 0, but there should be 43 minutes and 45 seconds left. And there was one more thing I was going to say that slipped my mind. It's okay, I don't remember what it is. It was something important, though, that I wanted to say before starting this episode. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. So that whole Wonderland episode of Jefferson and the Evil Queen going to Wonderland, I didn't spoil it, it's just the title of the series. But we do have that spin-off series, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. Wonderland is not a world that is explored that much in the show. It is heavily focused on in season 2, but it's mostly about the Queen of Hearts, and that's it. And her backstories. I don't mean to spoil season 2, I'm sorry. But, we don't see Alice, we don't see the Knave of Hearts, we don't see, the Jabberwocky, if you watch the live action Alice in Wonderland. We don't see, the Stack of Cards. We don't see any other characters from Wonderland, or the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. The only people we see in this show is the Queen of Hearts, Mad Hatter, the Caterpillar, and that's about it. So we don't, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland explores all the other characters from Alice in Wonderland books and live action Disney movies. And so anyway, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland explores further in depth, about the Wonderland and Alice's journeys. And so anyway, this is why I'm bringing this up, is that this is our first story about Wonderland. And yes, it is based in the same universe as Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. So all those places you saw with the maze and the heart bolt, which the evil queen, she wasn't grabbing a heart, she was grabbing her father. How he ended up in there, it's a story for another episode that I'm not going to spoil about. But the episode gives you a little hint of what Wonderland looks like, and it gives you a hint of what you might see in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, which we're not going to review till we get through some of season 3, so it's going to be a while. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's a little hint for something we're going to watch later on. It's not going to be anytime soon, but from the marathon I scheduled, it's going to be a series we will cover closely to the fall, so not the summer, but after we get through season 1 and 2, it is something that will be coming up. So anyway, now you have a little idea of what Wonderland's going to look like when we cover the Wonderland show. But let's start the next episode. It's called The Stable Boy, and we're going to start it in 3, 2, 1, now. 1 week ago. Yep, it's part of the curse. They get hurt. No one can leave town. So we all know now, 100%. Regina put the skeleton keys there, put the hunting knife, and framed Mary Margaret. Due to that 1 week ago flashback, which Catherine didn't go disappearing until episode 13. So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 6 episodes in 1 week since that said a week ago. That's a lot to happen in 1 week for someone to get framed and for drama to unfold in the show. In real time, that was 6 weeks because you only got 1 episode a week when this was airing. Anyway, sorry. Meet Regina's mother, Cora. That is not how parents should raise their children. Now we know where Regina gets her evilness from, right, guys? Cora. Magic runs in the family. Who wants Cora as a mother? Nobody. She loves the stable boy, which is the title of the episode. to prove are innocent, because all the logical, worldly stuff points to guilty. Remember, for this entire season, we were getting hints about Regina and her hatred towards Snow White, and we never got an answer. It was something about not share. It was something about sharing a secret. It was something about sharing a secret, and Snow White couldn't keep it. Maybe it's about time to get those answers. She has magic. She can kill him. A little girl on a horse. You gotta go save her. Regina was a good person back then. When she was a little girl, 10-year-old girl. This is how Regina and Snow met, and they became close friends. So how did they become enemies? Well, you're finally gonna find out after 18 episodes. course it's former King George. He's as evil as Regina. You can talk to the DA, but not this one. He's twisting words. He's twisting the words out of her mouth. Regina didn't say yes. That was Cora. Cora. Addicted to power and riches. Just like Regina became later on. But not back then. Regina didn't care about power back then. All she cared about was Dan. Something's gonna go down that will snap her goodness out. And this is so sad because we know what's gonna happen. We don't know. Well, I do. But for anyone new watching, every flashback has tragedy. So even if you don't know what it is, something will go wrong. Because she becomes the evil queen, obviously, right? A lot of you probably were waiting for this episode because I've been hinting at it since the beginning. Like how the evil queen hates Snow White. And I said you'd find out in this season, but it was towards the end. And we are getting towards the end because next week we'll finish the season. And you're finally getting your beginning show answers. Beginning season, but it's the first season. Beginning show answers. Snow White saw them kissing. You better catch her before she tells everyone. These guys had a good chemistry back in the day. Snow and me. Or soon to become. Oops. Never trust a child on secrets. But she was kind of pushed in a corner because Regina didn't know Snow White was going to show up. Well, she was kissing Daniel. Now, promise that you might break because you're only a child who makes mistakes. It's not a spoiler. Do you remember do you remember Sheriff Graham when she wanted to know what happened between her and Snow? And he has an excellent point. August does. And in August, going to solve the mystery of who's framing, of, well, they know it's Regina, but of getting Mary Margaret innocent for the court. That's true. Mary Margaret is like family to her, even if she doesn't know that that's Emma's mother. That's her mother. But Regina's. Regina's checking up on him. And Henry is up to something and doesn't want to get caught. They're breaking into Regina's house without a warrant. That's against the law, but she's determined to free Mary Margaret from frame job. You know, the actor who plays young Snow White is really good. She could literally be a young Jennifer Goodwin who plays the adult Snow White. I don't know the child actor's name. She's an adult now, but she looked exactly like Jennifer Goodwin when she was a kid. So they casted some 10-year-old Snow White pretty well. And they found the shovel, and Regina's now guilty. Maybe Snow White and Mary Margaret will be free from all charges. Cora's manipulating her. Snow White doesn't know how evil Cora is. She's plain innocent, so Snow White can share her secret, betraying Regina's trust. So good written storytelling. That would be heartbreaking if you were in Regina's shoes. If you don't think so, just wait. You'll see. That was good. Yeah. Snow White. Snow White comes from experience because she lost her mother, and now, plain innocent, she's in the manipulative stage of not wanting Regina to lose hers, but she doesn't know how evil Cora is. Sadly. Emma's gonna defeat Regina one way or another. And the show is just too good because Regina fixed her shovel. Smart. Guys, August is not working for Regina. It's not August. That told me. Regina. She's so close to winning. But Emma's running out of moves. How will she turn it around, guys? Regina admitted it to her. I know you didn't kill Catherine, but you deserve to be framed for what you did in this flashback. Now here it comes. Regina has to pay the price for Snow's actions right here. She was just 10. Regina could have forgiven her. was all a trick so that she can rip his heart out. Like Regina, Cora also rips out hearts. It runs in the family. Regina wasn't the first with magic, and she most certainly isn't the last. And that is how Regina hated Snow White, for telling her mother everything. She should put the blame on her mother. Her mother's the one who crushed Daniel's heart. Snow White was innocent. She didn't know better. But of course, she's so heartbreaking. She needed to put the blame on someone else, because it is hard to put a blame on your own parents, because you want to forgive them and believe the best in them, and it's easy to put it on someone else. Now she's lying about what happened to Dan to spare Snow's feelings. She's not really excited. She's a little mad because Snow betrayed her trust. It's as if Cora wanted. Regina has put the pieces together. Cora set it all up. And that's our evil queen. Only because Cora set it all up so that she would be forced into a royal marriage. And then, as much blameless as Snow is, Snow would tell the secret to Cora, and then that Regina and Snow were keeping it. Man, Cora is so manipulative to Regina and Snow. But again, Regina should blame her mother because she started it, not Snow not keeping a secret. It was Cora causing the horse to go off on its own. Bug from Sydney's flowers. So now you know it wasn't August who told Regina about the shovel. Remember Sydney's double betrayal from the middle of season 1 of this season. Like a curse. Yeah, Emma's not perfect. It's hard to find the truth in this world. It's not as easy as magical solutions, as Jefferson says. Magical solutions don't work in this world. Catherine is alive, but if her heart is out of her chest, how is she alive? Well, that wraps up tonight's episodes of Once Upon a Time. Catherine's alive, and she's able to confess that Mary Margaret did not try to kill her. Well, mystery solved. Murder convict, or what is it called? Murder frame is officially over. So, and the whole Catherine and David drama is over. No, we not want any more episodes. But yeah, that should wrap up tonight's episodes of Once Upon a Time. So, alright. Okay, I was just getting rid of the show, because we are done. But, yeah, interesting episode. Ever since episode 1, I told you that we were going to find out certain things, like how Snow and Charming met. How did Regina end up hating Snow White? And I told you it wasn't going to happen until later in the show. But then I thought I would tell you that it's not as later as you thought. I told you it was going to be towards the end of the season. And since we were at the beginning of at the time, I told you it was going to at least be a few weeks. But I hinted at it wasn't going to be that long. Well, we're finally reaching the end of the show. And you finally know how Regina hates Snow White. All because she shared a secret to her mother, who was evil. But Snow White didn't know that. She was only 10. And if you're in this situation, you shouldn't blame it on a 10-year-old. Blame it on your mother. If you ever have an abusive parent, then it's okay to admit that they're abusive. They should go to jail or be caught, or get responsibility or get consequences for their actions on how they treat their children. Cora was abusive. She made Regina abusive towards Snow White as a stepmother, and it was all Cora's doing. You should forgive all men, but if you have to be angry at someone in this situation, Regina should have put all her anger on her mother. It's not Snow White's fault. So Regina does have some evil issues. She became evil all on her own because it was her choice. But despite all that, she made, despite her using her agency here, now we know the story of why Regina hates Snow White, regardless, even though her hate is misplaced. So now you know. And in the storybook world, Snow White, Mary and Margaret, things weren't looking good, and they were running out of evidence to stack up with her. They just stacked a lot of evidence against her, and so there was nothing to prove that she was innocent, only guilty. Fortunately, right at the last minute, before she was going to be sentenced to trial and be guilty as charged for the rest of her life, Catherine shows up in an alley, and she's alive. So if it weren't for Catherine proving that she was alive, Mary Margaret would have been screwed for life. I bet there are some serial killers out there in this world who are that smart to frame people. So hopefully you never end up in that situation, and continue being good people, obviously. But anyway, not every situation ends like that where the person's alive, especially if their heart was not in their chest. So yeah, and once upon a time, no one dies unless you crush their heart, so that's why she's still alive. Now, how did they take her heart out without magic in this world? I don't know, but flaws not to worry about. They did say season 1's the darkest, so I know it gets a little violent for season 1. It does get better in later seasons, so if this is getting too violent for you, you can skip season 1 and season 2. Season 2 is kind of violent too. Season 3 is when it starts to become a little more wholesome, but yeah, I like this show. And it's all because I started with season 3, not season 1 and 2. But you need season 1 and 2 to understand the rest of the seasons. You gotta watch the show in order. So anyway, yes, it was a little dark, but Regina can't get away of being innocent for long. She's gonna be guilty for setting up Mary Margaret, and Emma's gonna beat her one of these days, and the curse will break next week. We're on the final 4 episodes. We're just gonna watch all 4, not 3. I know I shouldn't give spoilers, but I already said that the curse would break at the end of season 1. Most of the actors here thought the curse was going to break in the series finale, but they broke it at the end of season 1, and they knew they were getting a season 2. So when the actors found out, they were asking, and this is before they finished season 1, when the writers told the actors that we were going to break the curse at the end of season 1, they were like, well, how are you? This show is so good. How are you going to continue with the show after this? And they're like, well, they're just going to get creative, and I'm not going to spoil. There are other ways to continue a story, because we've seen it with the pilot. We watched the end of Snow White, where Charming kisses Snow White from the sleeping curse, the poison apple. When Snow White wakes up, they live happily ever after. That's the end of the Disney movie. But that's the end of the Disney movie. Now, once upon a time, the story continues. Regina casts her curse, everyone comes to Storybrooke, and then Emma is destined to break it 28 years later. So, doesn't that give you a hint that even when the curse that brought every fairy tale character to the real world breaks, the show's not going to end there either, like they did with Snow White and Charming's, like they did with Charming's kiss to wake Snow White from the sleeping curse back in episode 1. They started with the end of Snow White, and they continued the story. They have a similar premise when it comes to the rest of the show. Anytime a storyline ends, you may think it could be the end of the series, but it's not. That's this curse. The curse is not going to break at the end of the series. I mean, curses do break, but that normally is the end of the story, and everyone lives happily ever after. No, not every story. Some have sequels. Some have more than trilogies, which you should stop at the trilogy. Let's just look at Back to the Future. No, part 4, right? But anyway, Once Upon a Time, it has more seasons, If you count season 1 as the first movie, it has its season sequels, and despite it being sequels, I would actually argue with that. It's not a sequel, it's one big story. It's one big movie, and it doesn't end when the curse breaks. They don't live happily ever after. Like, for example, when the curse breaks, is everyone going to be going after Regina and trying to kill her for what they did to her, for what she did to them? Are they going to show mercy? What's going to happen when everyone reunites? What is the mother and daughter moment when the curse breaks and Snow White remembers who she is and looks at her daughter? How is that moment going to look? Anyway, there's all these other things to consider when the curse breaks. And so this is why they couldn't end it on the series finale. I know it's interactions that can be done in one episode, but they found a way to create drama from this situation. If you were abandoned as a child and you finally found your parents when you were 28 years old, you might have a lot of questions, and you might not forgive them right away. And, that wouldn't be a good story if they did. So, the show breaks at the end of season 1, and then season 2 we have to face the abandonment issues, and I'm not going to spoil more, but you can see why they wouldn't end the show with the curse breaking. That's what most actors thought, and they were surprised when that the curse was ending in season 1, and that there was going to be a season 2. They were like, writers, what are we going to do now? How are we going to keep the show going? Well, it's called being creative. Season 2, season 3, even when season 2's problems end, it could look like the end of the show, but season 3, anyway, honestly, the show could go on forever, but at some point, television can't allow that. But anyway, despite it all, Once Upon a Time proves that what may seem like the end of the story isn't always the end. There's more to it. And so anyway, with that said, we're going to finish this book. Each season's like a book. We're going to finish the last 4 chapters of ABC's Once Upon a Time next week with season 1. And then we're going to continue, and you're going to see what I'm talking about when I'm saying the show's not over. It's far from over. There's more to be told. And it doesn't have to take a curse to last the entire show to do it. We can break the curse in one season and worry about other problems. The show's going to become something else. It's not the formula of the show you've seen in season 1. It's not going to be the formula of season 2 or 3. It's going to be different. We're still going to get flashbacks and stuff, but it's going to be different coming up in the following seasons, so I'm just trying to prepare you. But hopefully you'll stick with the show. Most people actually do like season 2 and season 3. It's mostly season 4 people start falling off, but I hope you stick around as we do this marathon all the way to the very end of the series. We're going to go all the way through. We're not going to stop at the season 4. We're not going to stop. We're going to go all the way through, despite your interest in not wanting to continue. So anyway, I know there's no questions, and the YouTube one did not work, so just looking at Facebook right now, there's no one on here asking questions. There was one that was already answered earlier. How is Arkansas from Renee? It was pretty good. I kind of said that before the show started. And then someone who I'm going to visit in Boonville, Mississippi next week just wanted to come and say hi and didn't know anything about the show. So anyway, yeah, there's no questions. So yes, I just took up our whole 15 minutes explaining what to expect as we approach season 2. But we're not approaching season 2 yet. We'll finish season 1 next week. So until then, see you next week, guys. And until after that, get ready for season 2 coming in June. Except for this first Sunday in June, we'll finish season 1. But season 2 is coming. We're going to continue this marathon. So I hope you keep up to date if you're behind. And if you're not watching these live, hopefully you find enough time to catch up on your own time. But with that said, I'm going to sign off. It is 9:29, and I'm out of things to say. But luckily, now we don't need to end early, because just saying that changed it to 9:30. So now we can wrap up our live stream at 9:30 in Utah time, but 10:30 in Arkansas time. So yes, I'm going to enjoy my trip. Going to go visit people, nostalgic my mission, and yeah, so keep me in your prayers. Wish me good luck. I'll let you know how it went next Sunday, which will still be here, but in Mississippi. Our flight home is not until Monday. So, Monday, not tomorrow, but Monday of next week. So, anyway, I'll still be on vacation, but it will be coming to an end. So, I'll let you know how it all went next week when we finish the season of the show. There will not be a Q&A, though, so I don't think I can tell you much, but I'll try within the 10 minutes we have before the show starts. So, anyway, with that said, I'm going to stop talking now, because now it's going to be 9:31, and I'm going to end the live stream right now. So have a great night, and I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.